let me ask you a question. Why do you believe that getting rich is hard? Like, actually, why do you believe that? Who has told you, or like what have you seen in your life that makes you believe that getting rich is difficult? I want you to actually think about that. When you think about that truly, you will trace that back to probably some 9 to 5er, some very average income person who's told you that getting rich is hard, it's difficult, and it's maybe even bad. I used to believe those things massively back in the day, and it was keeping me broke, stuck. And then I shifted my perspective. I changed my internal state, which I'm going to explain to you how I did in this video. And it's allowed me to get to a point where I now been able to hit my income goals. I've been able to make over $40,000 per month in my early 20s, be able to travel the world, have financial, location, and time freedom, like everything that I dreamt of back in the day, I've gotten it now. And it's not been by working harder, and it's not been by trying harder. If anything, it's been the opposite. It's been the opposite of doing that. Because here's the thing, back in the day, I used to believe that, okay, if I just work harder, if I just grind harder, that's how I get rich. Why did I believe that? It's because I grew up with parents and friends and family and people in my surrounding that were not ultra successful or working 9 to 5s. And they had certain beliefs, certain ways of looking at the world that's gotten them there. Everyone has beliefs that guides you into the reality that you're in right now. Those beliefs that you hold is what creates your reality. If you believe that making a lot of money is difficult to do, then guess what? You will find confirmation for that. I worked hands-on and very, very close to hundreds of beginners. Guys, probably same age as you're watching this right now, who are trying to make their first 1K, 5K, and 10K a month online. I've seen firsthand people who make it and actually get to that goal very quickly in like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, a month, 2 months. And I've seen guys who fail and stay stuck and cannot seem to break out of their current life situation, whether that's a 9 to 5 or in school or failing with online business. And the pattern, it's so clear. I've seen this over and over again. The pattern repeats itself. Is that someone who identifies as, let's say, an unsuccessful business owner, you identify yourself as, I'm trying to make money online, or I'm a 9 to 5er trying to succeed in making money online and getting freedom. Those people, they fail every single time. The people that are fully stepped in to a new identity, an identity of already being successful, those people make it. As simple as that. It's not about working harder, it's not about trying harder. You need to realize that success, you already know what to do. Back in the day when I was broke and I lived with my parents and I was failing multiple different businesses, I remember being up at night and like, why is nothing working out? Why am I stuck? Like, I'm trying so hard, I'm trying to figure this out. I don't want to be 9 to 5. Like, I just was scared of the idea of being 9 to 5, but I was stuck. Why was that? It was not because I didn't know what to do. I knew what actions I should be taking. I simply wasn't doing the right thing because of my internal state. I viewed myself as someone who was living with my parents, someone who was failing making money online, someone who wasn't a 10K per month version of myself, and my reality confirmed that. I was living with my parents, I was going to school, obviously I didn't have any crazy expenses because I was living at home. Like, my reality and my actions were aligned, and my beliefs, how I viewed the world, my internal state, was that of the unsuccessful, broke, and failing entrepreneur version of myself. And obviously I was broke doing that, because I find confirmation. Whenever something was working a bit, when I was starting to see success, what would I do? I would just change business model, I would change niche, I would give up, or I would go back into my comfort zone because of my identity. Your identity drives everything. When my life changed and I went from living with my parents, being broke and is unsuccessful and failing with an agency, dropshipping, affiliate marketing, to making my first 10K a month, leaving my hometown, I did not work harder. What I did, I simply just changed who I identify myself as. I asked myself, okay, if I want to make 10K a month, what would the 10K a month version of Alex do right now? They would live on their own, they would probably move out of their hometown, get responsibility, pay your own rent, etc., etc. They would invest in themselves to learn a skill from someone who's more successful. They would surround themselves with people that are actually doing what they want to be doing and get out of their parents' house, etc. They would focus on learning one single skill instead of trying to start an entire business as a beginner. And I just aligned myself, even though that was super uncomfortable to do, to invest in myself, to leave my hometown, to go live in my own life. It was super scary to do, obviously, because I was like 18 years old. I'd never done that before. It was scary to do. But I aligned myself to the new identity. I started moving and I just asked myself in all decisions that I was making, what would the 10K a month version of yourself do right now? That's all. Like, that's the frame that I looked through my life from. And no matter how it felt, that's the most important thing. No matter how it felt, because it was scary, as I was uncomfortable, it was nervous, uncertain every single time, but I just did it anyways. And that's how I align myself to a new frequency, and my life started changing. Not by working harder, not by trying harder and grinding harder. That, if anything, gets you further away from your goal. Because when you're grinding, when you're telling yourself that you have to show up and do these crazy activities and cold showers and early wake-up times in order to become that person. It's creating a distance between you and the 10K per month version of yourself, and you're having to grind to get there. But when you instead just ask yourself in every single decision, what would the 10K per month, or whatever your goal is right now, version of yourself do right now? And you act in alignment with that no matter how it feels. Then guess what? Your actions creates your reality. If you act in a certain way, if you act in accordance with what the 10K per month version of yourself would do for the next week, 2 weeks, month, 2 months, that will become your reality. But most of you guys are not doing this right now because you're acting on your emotions. You let your brain and your old version of yourself pull you back in. And that's why it feels so hard to get out of your current situation, because you're secretly married to your current identity. When you're trying to push out and trying to get new results, trying to act on the 10K per month version of yourself and how they would do things, and then you feel scared, you feel uncertain, you act on that emotion, you let that pull yourself back into the old version of yourself. You cannot do that. That will keep you stuck and broke forever. You will get to a point where 5 years from now, 10 years from now, you have not fulfilled your potential. You cannot do the things you want to be able to do because you acted on emotions. You need to learn to step into your identity, act in accordance with the person that you want to become, no matter how that feels. That's how your life changes extremely quickly. And people think that you sold your soul or something, but you just know deep down that you simply stepped fully into your identity, and that's why your life changes. I've seen this firsthand. A guy that I worked with just a month ago, he came into my one-on-one coaching with no experience. He was just fully committed to stepping into a new version of himself. He acted in alignment with the version of himself that he wanted to become. He was scared. He was uncomfortable multiple times throughout that journey, but he acted no matter what. He stayed aligned and did the actions. He invested into himself. He left his hometown. He took action over and over again, even though he was scared. And it completely changed his life in less than 2 months. And during that exact same 2 months, there's so many people, maybe yourself right now, who hasn't done shit, who's been in the exact same position, staying stuck over and over again. So please let this be your sign to break out of that cycle and start aligning yourself with that new frequency. I hope this makes sense. If you want to work with me one-on-one to get into high-ticket sales business model, I do have a bunch of roles inside my network that are hiring right now. So if you want to get placed and trained by me one-on-one, apply, download the video, and I'll see you guys tomorrow in the next video. Take care. Ciao.